Alright guys, so we're at the UK Games Expo and we are here with Backspindle Games and we're going to be looking at some of the stuff that's coming out from then, and the newest release that is coming out is Mornquest. We have talked about this with you guys at some of the conventions before, learned a lot about it, but it's a fantastic one, and if anyone's not heard about it, can you tell us a little bit about the game and sort of how it plays?
Yeah, well, it's an Irish fantasy game. It's based on a book called Mornquest by Gary McElheron. It's basically Harry Potter meets, diddly-da Irishness, full of leprechauns and curlahans, and it's basically a cooperative game. You can sort of play 1 to 4 player. And you're really going about this map of the Mourne Mountains, which is back in County Down where we live, actually, and there's actually place names marked on the map and everything. So you're going about these little paths in the mountains, and you're gathering up these resources of flax and granite, blackthorn and gold. And the reason for that is these 4 big nightmares that are on the discs at the side have been controlled by this evil Shimnivore, who's basically capturing all the dandelions and all the magic of the dandelions. You know, you blow a dandelion, you make a wish. So he's doing that, and he has them under his power. So he's trying to stop you so he can escape into the world of real. And basically, when you do that, you're gathering up these resources to put on these discs, and then after every turn, you roll a compass dice in the first round, and the disc will turn for west, north, east or south, or you get a compass tile that goes in the middle, and that means if there's 6 of those, all 4 discs start to turn. So it's a bit worrying, because once they turn, they all come out, and you're not really warriors, you're heroes, you're leprechauns, you're curlahans. So that's what you're doing there, but you're also trying to build up your characters with these stats, because you know you have to fight these guys, so you're building up your characters with courage, strength and magic, because there's different phases of the moon, as you can see there. There's grey, which is normal moon, there's red for really a hard moon to fight them on. You all worry about the red moon and the blood moon, the full moon. You have green for an easy moon, and then the blue moon is once in a blue moon. Cobb's birthday. Cobb's the little hero character, so you get all dice rolls are doubled. So if you don't have your character stats up, and you're dealing with these nightmares and things, there comes the final battle with Shimnivore, you're probably going to lose. So you got to make sure you deal with the nightmares, get your stats up, and then fight with Shimnivore at the end. Yeah. If you beat him, you win. If he breaks through the Mourne Wall, which is these 4 keystones at each of the discs, he wins and everybody loses. That's the basis of the game, but then there's the hard bit. And the hard bit is you got to move around. After all the players take a round or a turn each, you're then into this little velvet bag and you're drawing out these bog bean counters which spawn at the corners. You may be lucky and you may spawn a treasure chest and they're free to lift and so on. But these bog beans are pesky. They come and they steal your stuff. They steal your resources. If you defeat them in combat, you get their resources, which is kind of cool. But unfortunately then, the discs and the dice are levels 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you start on level 1, which has got the dandelion on it, which is an automatic win, which is great. But other than that, it's a pretty low hit dice. Yeah. So they're all shillelaghs on them, the actually Irish club. You get level 2, level 3, level 4. But every time you add in an extra level dice and you lock in one of these and get a reroll or whatever, or these get free after you, you add in the next level of bog beans. Once the moon counter moves all the way around once and all players take their turn, it flips over to the red moon. That's when you start rolling 2 compass dice. So these things start moving faster. The game ramps up.
Escalation style to things that are going on.
Escalates up. Yeah, the more you play well at the start, the more the game escalates sooner. The more you play bad at the start, the more the game doesn't escalate till you start playing well. So at the end of it, there's a final battle, and irrespective of how you played, if you aren't fully prepared for the Shimnivore, you've tooled up your characters with abilities, you've loaded up with magic cards, and you've defeated all the nightmares. If you don't do all of that, you're probably going to lose. To top it all off, you've got 3 levels of difficulty. You've got blue on the disc, which is easy. You can play that with your children. Green, which is the normal gamer. And 3 is I hate the designers because it's so hard.
So it's got a nice sort of level of difference between the different ways you can play it and all that kind of thing. And I love that sort of ramping up of tension throughout the game. That's always really good when you get into that climax in something as well. As you're sort of like looking down at these miniatures, they are absolutely fantastic little pieces you've got for the game. Really nice, evocative, wonderful looking characters, and drawing on that a nice, Irish folklore and stuff is just fantastic. The artwork's great as well. I love the artwork in this game. It's fantastic.
We're very lucky. We had Irish people from where we live, worked on the whole game. We developed it. Gary obviously wrote the books. Yeah. A guy called John Farrelly, who's Captain Wonder cartoons, did the pen picture of all the characters. And obviously it was a bit like working to do Guards with Terry Pratchett. We had to to and fro with the author to say, have we got the character right? And obviously the nightmares right and so on. So we got those right, and then we were lucky enough he worked with a guy, colorist called Alan Perry, who, as you can see, did all the coloured sort of cartoon type artwork.
It really then sort of brings it all to life and gives it that extra pop and stuff.
Yeah, and then Alan then said, well, I do a wee bit of sculpting. So let me have a try at the 3D sculpting. Hence, we did the 3D sculpting, and he came up with these stunning figures, which have been much admired and painted by a few people already. Some of the demo copies have been really nicely done. So he did the stunning figures as well, and really, bringing things like the Banshee here to life, is...
It's a game that has presence on the tabletop, which is one of the cool things about it, isn't it? So.
Yeah, first and foremost, it's a board game. It's a good board game. We didn't have the minis at the start. We made sure it was a good board game.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it appealed to families. It appealed to, parents can play it with their children. It's not too scary. In terms of Phineas Brogan there, the wee leprechaun guy who's holding his arm out like that, he's not holding a pint of Guinness. It's a child-friendly game. There's no alcohol involved.
Perfect. And so the other game that you've got here as well is Ninja Squad. So if you could tell people a little bit about that one as well. I think we may have seen this it was on the live stream that we did last year, and we talked about it as well there, but give people a little bit of a refresher for Ninja Squad as well.
Yeah, well, Ninja Squad is new at the UK Games Expo. It plays really well with families and children. We've played it at a number of conventions in Ireland, and the children and their mums actually love it. Yeah. No dads, mostly mums, and they love it. It's just easy. It's cute little chibi ninjas. This side of the board, we've obviously put out a small side of the board here, is cooperative. You're jumping from rooftop to rooftop like Mr. Bean in the adverts. Can't mention advertising.
We all know who you mean.
Yeah, we've got the little lights on there, obviously representative lanterns. So things like that will cause you a penalty. The little black and red meeples are guards. They will cause you penalties as well. And basically you're drawing cards, movement cards like these, and you're choosing a route with your little ninja. So for instance, if you were that little blue ninja there and you played this card, you could go one diagonally here, you could go one diagonally here, or you go one diagonally here with that card, or this card here, you can go 2 forward, 1 left, 2 forward, 1 right. But if he goes 2 forward, straight away he's into a guard, so that's probably the wrong card. So he chooses this card, this one's discarded for now, and after 6 turns, then the guards get their phase. And then after all 6 turns, each of the 4 piles of cards are rotated, so everybody gets a decent mix of cards every game. So that's the first part of it. If you get to the Shogun's roof, before the time tracker comes all the way up to a 2-player target, 3-player, etc. You flip the boards over, and as you can see from these boards at the side here, the boards are then reversible, and you're going back out through the Shogun's garden, out the back of his house, all the way down, and this time it's player versus player. And you have various things like attack cards, so you get to attack each other with, chains and call guards on your opponents and stuff like that. So it becomes very, what can we say? Every man or every woman or every person for theirself and the dog. So it becomes like that, and it's a totally different game.
That's a really nice dynamic to have, for it to be slightly that semi-cooperative nature to it, and then just completely dead competitive at the end of it as well. Although you were saying to me that you've also now got rules for doing like a cooperative version of this as well, so...
Yeah, a certain podcaster live in America while eating pizza, no he wasn't really, but he sort of was, did a review of our game, and he really said he would like both sides of the game possibly to be cooperative. So what we did is we came away and we knocked up a set of rules, we play tested it. This is only a draft edition, but as you can see, each of the ninja minis that you get to play will have an individual ability. So first of all, straight away it's different there. You're not just playing a basic ninja and no special ability. So someone can go through water without a penalty, some of them can do other things. And in that, what happens is those ninjas will play the game cooperatively, but the guards, the black meeples and the red meeples, get to fight back with the bookie cards. So players have then to make a strategic decision of how they're going to get hurt the most. So it really is tough. If the guards get the right cards and you're not working together and you don't help each other, which you're allowed to do because you're all a team of ninjas, the guards will win and you will die. Basically in it, you will use the lantern tokens as wounds, and if any one of the ninjas hits 6 wounds, the game ends. And
I love that kind of aspect of cooperative nature where you've desperately got to work together, because if one person goes down, that's it.
That's the way it is. The last time I played it, we were protecting a guy all the way up, and he was on 5 wounds, and we were protecting him, giving him health. And we got to the end, he couldn't be attacked. He was just out of range of one of the other guards that was trying to attack him, and I was in range. And I was on 3 wounds and he hit me for 6. So 3 wounds more, I was gone. So, but that's the game, we worked as strategically as we could, and probably if we hadn't protected him a little bit more, he would have protected me, thinking about it. But
so it's all about learning about the last time you played the game and wanting to try and take on that puzzle again the second time or third time, fourth time, and try and do it better.
Sometimes you gotta not wait. You gotta think, you know what? This is the best time to give you this card. Because if I don't give you this card and you take another hit from these guys, we're all gonna lose the game,
The gods are talking right now. Hopefully it's all going to be fine. But just so we were thinking about what's happening with you guys and what's actually out here at the show, you have Mornquest out for people to go and grab now?
Yes, Mornquest was a successful Kickstarter, and we took our time to make sure the production was good. Quality is all important to us, obviously after the game and the gameplay. So it is out at the UK Games Expo. We're at booth 2555.
Yeah, so if you're coming down over the weekend, make sure to come out to see Backspindle Games and check out the games. Also, Ninja Squad is also out as well, yeah?
Ninja's on sale for the first time at the expo, and yes, we will have a few copies of those new rules. If anybody buys a copy, we'll give them a set of the new rules as well.
So perfect, you can come down, check out both of these games, pick up Ninja Squad, play it here at the hotel or something if you're staying over the next couple of days or anything like that. Been fantastic talking to you, man.
Thank you very much.
Great games from the guys at Backspindle Games there. We'll see you guys in the next video. We're going to be doing loads of stuff over the weekend with live blogs and live streams and all kinds of things like that. So make sure to check those out. There's comments and prizes for everything. So make sure you get stuck into all of that as well. We'll see you guys very, very soon for the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.